What's up, everybody, and welcome to Ohio Sports Talk. I am your host, Doug. That's my guy, Jordan Maxson. Jordan, how you doing, buddy?
Doing well, sir. Doing well. Had a fun weekend. Got to see the new Deadpool Wolverine movie. Yeah, got my kiddo into it. So
Nice.
the weekend's been good. Got to coach a little football this evening. We're 12 practices away from our big time opener. So I'm just getting into things and hitting the ground running. How are things on your end?
Hey, man, doing good. We had a nice weekend. Got back from vacation, getting everything back in the saddle. Had to go to work today. Back on the grind like normal people. But it was a good day. Glad to be back. I can only spend so much time away. I feel like, people who talk about like leaving Ohio, I don't think I could ever do it. I just think this is I'm so ingrained in Ohio, and this is my home. So I'm pretty locked in here. So I was glad to get back, but had a hell of a time at the beach with the kids, like we talked about last episode. We know you're busy coaching, but we got a big night of sports, man. A lot going on in Ohio. Jordan, let's start off though. Reds up 6-0 on the Cubbies in the bottom of the seventh. It's been a fun night, Jordan. After losing the series last night, we come back tonight. TJ Friedel with the 3-run home run. Spencer Steer scores on a wild pitch. Will Benson hits a 2-run home run. Somebody that we've been harping on very hard recently because he remains having a roster spot when it doesn't feel like he's earned it. But all credit to him, big home run tonight. The Reds are playing well. We'll definitely touch on the Reds a little bit more. But what do you see going around Ohio right now, Jordan? Anything crazy?
Just in general, we'll dive into the Reds most certainly. Big time Olympic representation. I know we're definitely going to hit that hard tonight. Some bad camp news from Cincinnati in the Bengals end. I'll touch on that most certainly on our news and notes at the end of the broadcast. Definitely some good news, some bad news, and just some flat out crappy news. So a little bit there, but really all eyes are kind of in the Olympics. I know Ohio's going to, host the Hall of Fame game this Thursday. So, our brothers out north there where the Hall of Fame is at, they're going to be busy this week hosting all those festivities, getting all those legends together down there. We're the birthplace of the NFL, and it's going to kick off that way. So always happy to see here. So Ohio in general, just a very busy place. The Guardians are kind of rolling right now. I know their fan base is a little bit angry that they're not going to doesn't seem like they're going to make any moves in the pitching department, but we'll touch on that on news and notes. But really, just strong Olympic representation. We got the NFL in town this week for all their festivities, and we got the Reds, the Guardians. A little bit of camp news. Nothing new at Ohio State. When it came to football. Anyways, I see that the old Ohio State alumni are doing well in their little basketball tournament they got going on. So
yep.
That's been fun to see. Yes, sir. That's been fun to see and talk about. Kind of got the fan base a little bit excited. So, like you said, busy weekend in sports when it comes to the great state of Ohio. So, we'll dive into
it. So first things first, Jordan. Our Cincinnati Reds. We keep teetering on the edge, Jordan. Are we going to buy? Are we going to sell? What are we going to do? Cincinnati. We are currently 50-55. We're last in the NL Central. That is a tad misleading because if you look at the standings, we're 5 games out of the wild card starting today. So it's not completely over. The Reds do go out and they sign France from the Mariners and a trade where they sent some money also. They paid us to take him. It looks like it's a move that is going to put Candelario maybe more at the DH, put Spencer Steer back in the outfield. But in my opinion, it doesn't really help with the lineup. The inconsistencies still remain. Any thoughts on the move today? Again, nothing earth-shattering, but the Reds did make a move today and picked up France from the Mariners, who has some infield. He plays a couple different spots in the infield. That doesn't mean he's good at all the spots. He has some versatility. What are your thoughts, Jordan?
Because Douglas, we have been plagued with the injury bug, a guy that can move around multiple positions. It's always a plus. It's not the big bat outfielder that we wanted, but it's better than nothing. So
Right.
depth on this team right now is a huge importance. We just can't seem to shake that injury bug. We got guys, still rehabbing out in Arizona, and maybe this is just kind of the stopgap. We're throwing band-aids on a flesh wound. So, but it's the Reds. It's crawl. It's the Reds. What can I say other than it's better than nothing? And that's kind of how I'll leave it. But it's gone by 6.
KFC, who we had on the show talking Browns earlier this year, he believes Candelario will be traded by 6 before the deadline. So that's an interesting thought. I wouldn't be against it. I mean, I feel like we overpaid him a little bit. So to see him go wouldn't be the end of the world for me. What are your thoughts on that trade, Jordan?
Douglas, unless we're getting something like amazing back, that would go ahead and fold my season for me. Candelario, although he has inconsistencies at the moment, Candelario's bat has been, really big before the All-Star break. He's kind of struggled coming out of that, but that's kind of his MO. And we touched on his career probably about 3 weeks ago in our episode, where he starts slow, he gets that hot phase, then he kind of comes out of the break, gets that slump again, and then he always seems to kind of pop off at the end of the season. So if we get rid of that bat, Douglas, that kind of shakes me, because you look at the last series that we were in. I mean, we're losing games 1-0, 1-1, 2-1. It's just I don't think we can afford to lose the bat. I get making the move and bringing some youth in if that's the offer, but Doug, and it kind of goes to my feelings on a Jonathan India question when his price is kind of skyrocketed right now for all the right reasons for the Reds. If we get rid of that, we're losing too much offense and a team that doesn't have offensive consistency. So I would say no. I would venture to say, I hope he stays at least for this season. And I think you shop around those guys. I think you shop both the Candyman and India at the end of the year when everything's said and done.
Okay, so you don't want the Reds to sell with only being 5 games out. You want them to stay in and try to bring a guy in and help win and get into maybe a wild card position. You still think that's possible?
Absolutely, because we're playing a team like the Cubs who are struggling themselves. We're back at home right now. A lot of positivity there. And, if we take the series or even sweep the series, we're right back in it again. And that's something, that we could be 2.5, 3 games out by the end of the series, depending on how everybody above us plays. And that puts us right where we need to be. So selling right now would be would be admitting out loud that you're done with the season. I'm not going to do it to this episode. I'm gonna control my language.
Less F-bombs tonight.
But you're definitely that would be kind of folding in the season. I think, Douglas, we're right there on a teetering of being in it. So I'm not a big believer in the sell when it comes to Cincinnati Reds.
Okay, that's fair. So you haven't given up yet. I respect that. I personally have given up on this year because of these reasons. Last night, we have a chance to win that game against the Rays. We blow it again. The bullpen comes in and absolutely shits down their leg. We can't get anything. We couldn't get anything. Hunter Green goes out and pitches a masterful performance. Again, we cannot get this guy any run support. We're up 1-0. Cruz throws the wild pitch. People are blaming Wins. People are blaming Cruz. It felt like a team effort there. It was a bad pitch. He could not hit the strike zone last night. And Wins tried to backhand it. You don't backhand that ball. You slide over and you use your chest and your body to protect the ball. They score a run there. Lucas Sims, who for whatever reason comes in, walks the next batter on 5 pitches to give them the 2-1 lead. Sam Maul is literally sitting right there. He is sitting right there. Our best reliever is sitting right there. Why do we have him in the staff if he's not going to be brought in big situations? I was talking to a couple different people, Jordan. Some people that have stayed along the David Bell path for different reasons, and I respect the hell out of them for that. But he's lost me. Last night was the night that they changed their mind. I talked to him earlier, leading up to the show today. They said that's enough. Enough is enough. You can't bring Sims in there, and you can't do it that way. Sam Maul should have been in that game to hold the lead and give us a chance going into the ninth, or give us a chance to come up and hit in the ninth, and it means something. And then you know, people keep telling me, Will Benson, Will Benson, Will Benson. He is a hell of a human being, but I don't care about him being a good human being on a bad, or when he's playing this poorly. He's hitting what? Maybe 190. He strikes out an egregious amount of times, strikes out to end the game. It's not his fault we lost. It's the bullpen's fault we lost, but it just compiles it when you see Will Benson strike out with a runner on second. He wasn't even close. You knew walking up to the plate, you knew that he was going to strike out. You knew he didn't have a chance last night to get a hit in that situation. And the same thing happened. Quick shout out to the Bearded Browns podcast. Those guys do a damn good job covering the Cleveland Browns.
Well, they do it well.
Those guys are excellent. Listen, please go find their podcast. They are really, really good. Nice jersey, Doug. Yep, the DeJuan Jones, the Mad Titan. That guy's gonna anchor a tackle position for the Browns, hopefully for the next 10 plus years. But let's keep going with the Reds, Jordan. And then it's worked out today, Jordan. Of course, USA shout out those guys. Not enough golds. We'll talk about that soon. But Jordan,
we're getting there.
And then today we come in. David Bell says we've got a scheduled off day for Elly De La Cruz. Elly De La Cruz is 22 years old. He is our best player. He has been our most consistent offensive player to this point. You can look at the strikeouts, yada, yada. He's coming off a game where he had three hits, four steals. He was one of his better hitting games. We know he didn't score any runs. We know he got thrown out a couple times on bad base running. I get all that. But his bat was hot. Maybe schedule the off day, not against the Cubs, who's a division opponent, who's a division rival in a team that is neck and neck with us in the wild card. It doesn't fit. You're telling me Elly wouldn't have played today? You're telling me David Bell doesn't go down there and say, hey, Elly, I see you, and I know we talked about having an off day here, but we need you. We need you today. We need you to be out there. And you're telling me that Elly wouldn't get his ass up and be ready to play today? No chance. That can't happen.
Bell would have to have a backbone for that, Doug. That's something we know he doesn't have.
But it wouldn't take a backbone. Elly would get his ass up and go out there and play. That's the kind of guy he is.
But Bell's not going to make that call, Doug. For whatever reason, Bell's not going to make that call. Any other manager in MLB would make that damn call. But not David Bell. David Bell's content with mediocrity, like you said, especially in the bullpen rotation. And Maul saved the game just a series ago with the bases loaded. And
Sam Maul's a good pitcher. He's a great pitcher.
Lights out. Pitch absolutely lights out. Lucas Sims has been okay. He's been better, but that's not the guy you call. If you got them both on the chessboard, you don't call Lucas Sims in that situation. Because we've seen him fold time and time and time again. Lucas Sims is a guy that can deal with a runner on base or a runner on second, but not with the bases loaded. And he fell apart. That's his MO, Douglas. And you can't tell me that David Bell, for everybody that loves David Bell, his baseball IQ. Well, that doesn't show me his baseball IQ, because the average, everyday fan can sit here and look and tell him that's a bad decision. And it was. And it ultimately cost him the game. And it cost Hunter Green the game, the guy who went out and pitched an absolute gem, which you touched on. But I won't beat a dead horse there. We've covered it. We've put the nail in the coffin. The fan, the hardcore David Bell fans finally saw the light. We got to move on. But to answer the original question, I'm still not a seller, because I don't want to see this season pack in. I believe that's a poison in the locker room. When you start seeing your star guys go away, the rest, it runs downhill, Douglas. You've been in ball clubs. You've been on teams. When you see guys kind of go to that quit mode, or that coach start, taking out the stars and the veterans and kind of admitting the season is over, it just becomes a poison in the water. And that's something I just don't want to see.
And I appreciate the passion. Bearded Browns, why the hell did they take him out? I was wondering what was going on as a Guardians fan. Well, Hunter Green, 7 innings. He threw 100 pitches. He was pitching lights out baseball. I mean, he had a no-hitter through, 6, Jordan? Or 5.5? He ended up giving up the 2 hits. I understand that. But
it didn't equate to anything.
This analytical baseball, Jordan, where guys can't pitch, over 100 pitches. They don't want to wear out the arm. that was a game we really needed yesterday. And if my number one guy is out there throwing a damn good game, I'm going to put the analytics aside and I'm going to say, Hunter Green, you go out there, and if it gets bad, we'll pull you. But we need you to go out there, and we need one more inning. We need one more strong inning. And we didn't get that. I know Cruz was really, really good at the beginning of the year. Fantastic. But he's really fallen off. People are not falling for that slider the way they were early in the year, and it's always outside and it's always wild. He could not get the ball over the plate. I would have ran Hunter Green out there, give him one more opportunity. He's your ace, and let him try to finish this out. But no, we overmanage, we overanalyze, we get too analytical. We bring Cruz in, who walks two guys, gives up a hit, gives up 2 earned runs. And then the game's pretty much over. I mean, it's unfortunate because we've had such good starting pitching this year, and it feels like we're going to waste.
Yeah, Jordan, as much as I dogged, managers like Dusty Baker and Jerry Aaron, who was kind of the sub guy in between.
Yeah,
at least they let their pitchers pitch. At least they let those pitchers go deep into games, and you think of like Bronson Arroyo, who's had multiple games where he's completed 9 innings. That era of baseball is dead because of the analytics, and I think it kills teams. It kills momentum. It kills teams, and it really highlights on what you need in a bullpen to come out. And I just hate the era of baseball we're in. Like you said, the analytics say, and it even relates to football. We'll touch on that during the season, but I'm not an analytic guy. I'm let me talk to my player. Let me see how he's doing. And if the player doesn't reciprocate that, and I'm a coach, okay, then you pull him. But like you said, Douglas, I doubt Hunter Green would say no. I doubt he would say no. Let's see what he's got. It just needs to happen.
Jordan Candelario just hit a solo shot. It is now 7-0 Reds. It does feel really good to kick the shit out of the Cubs, so that is exciting. Just wanted to break that in there. Jordan, let's put a bow on this. In my opinion, in today's landscape of baseball, I want a manager who's willing to look at the analytics, but he's also willing to go with his gut. And it feels like we don't have that in David Bell. It feels like we've reached our ceiling with David Bell. I saw somebody, David Bell was a good baseball player. He is not a good manager. And I think we need to move on from him. I don't think we're going to be able to get rid of Krall. So let's put that to bed. But we probably need to move on from David Bell. We've reached our ceiling. We've got to get a better manager in here if we want to go any further, Jordan.
Yes.
Any last thoughts though on the Reds? I mean, they're kicking ass tonight. We're obviously going to talk. We're going to talk a little bit more about them shortly. We'll keep the game posted just in case anything happens. But
I think we hammered it home, Douglas. I think, like you said, we put a bow on it. We went deep into our manager thoughts. We went deep into the bullpen. We went deep into the inconsistent base running in a play, which we did the episode before this. Yeah. And no reason to beat a dead horse. I think it was put together well, and I'm ready to transition. So let's hit me with the next one.
All right, buddy. So let's transition though. The Olympics are hot and heavy right now. We've been doing our highlight on the Olympics. We've been talking about these athletes. We've been trying to give them some shine. We've got 2 more Olympic athletes for you guys. We're going to get into Jordan will be back in a second. We've got Lee Kiefer, and we've got Carson Foster, 2 really good athletes that we're going to talk about. But let's look at the medal tracker that we've been putting out, our own medal tracker, Jordan, which I've really enjoyed doing. It's been really fun to dive into this year. Hopefully people are enjoying that. If you don't really, if you're not all in on the Olympics, here's a good way to follow it. Right now, Jordan, U.S. 20 medals, France 16, Japan 12. Right now, though, I'm impressed with Japan, Jordan, with the 6 gold medals. Is there anything that sticks out to you, buddy, out that you're seeing here that is really sticking out country-wise?
Really, not too. I mean, France is the home nation, so they're going to be on the board. They have the most athletes representation. That's one of the benefits of hosting. But yeah, Japan definitely. They've had some strong performances. Even in the swimming, Most recently, between I believe as I was, it's slipping my mind.
Are you
But
thinking of her name?
yeah, I'm just trying to think of her name, but I'll move on past that. It'll come back to me. I apologize to the fans. But even in the pool, Japan has done a lot of silver medals in some of the individual swimming competitions and things of that nature.
Yeah, they got 2 individual
But
silvers. Yeah.
yeah, they've really done well. But a lot of people didn't have that circled. A lot of people thought Australia was going to kind of come to compete when it came to the pool, but Japan's been doing a couple of upsets here and there. So really happy to see it. We know United States is trending in the right direction now when it comes to gold because the basketball, the women's soccer had a huge
They
outing
look
the other
good.
night. They look great, even with some of their best athletes. Had to
What
leave the field temporary for some injuries, but
was that 4-1 they won yesterday or the other day, Jordan?
yeah, yes, sir. They put a knot on it at the end. They won 4-1 against Team Germany. So really entertaining to see. Me and my daughter, we watched it together. Just kind of seeing her get further and further into women's sports, and especially this is the place for it. So.
Oh, hell yeah. I mean, this is awesome. But Jordan, we talked about Rose Lavelle last week. We talked about Katie Moon, some fantastic athletes that obviously Rose Lavelle was a big part of the 4-1 victory the other night. Katie Moon, her opportunity is coming up soon. What events have you enjoyed the most watching? Because for me, I enjoyed the hell out of yesterday. I'm going to take a second here. Team USA basketball. Watching LeBron, watching KD play at the highest level of basketball yesterday was insane. LeBron, 21 points, nine assists, 8 rebounds, almost a triple-double in the Olympics. Kevin Durant, 23 points. That dude couldn't miss. He was 5 of 5 from 3. And, they ended up pulling out and stretching out that lead against Serbia. But, man, watching those two guys play on the same court together is just such a pleasure. If you like basketball, if you're a basketball fan, I mean, that was just insane to watch those two guys playing at the highest level against a solid Serbia team who has Nikola Jokic. But, there's just too many weapons for America to really ever be threatened. But yesterday we got to see a little bit of vintage LeBron and KD, and that really was fun for me to watch. What were your thoughts? What's been your favorite to watch so far?
Oh, absolutely. And, we'll give a little shout out to Ant-Man, who had some really nice plays before the half and kind of brought the energy to the team as well. Got the really, whenever you see the veteran guys on the bench resting and, plays being made like that, and they're all, you got Steph Curry dancing, you got LeBron fists in the air, that means a lot. And, really shout out to Team USA basketball. Really got it together, and seeing the women's basketball team today dominate as well.
Oh, they're so good. I enjoyed watching.
A really great game.
Asia Wilson and Breonna Stewart combined for 42 points, 7 blocks. Japan was outmatched all game. Fair play to that. But the U.S. women, that's 2 gold medals right there that we're going to be adding to the thing. My wife thinks LBJ is Lyndon B. Johnson. That's the second king. That's not the first. Oh man, those pull-up threes in LeBron's eye were great. Tyler McGurk is a real piece of work. This guy's still living in 2018. What an asshole. No, that's our guy Tyler McGurk. But Jordan, let's dive into these athletes, okay? We've got 2 good ones for you tonight. We've got Lee Kiefer. We're going to start off with her. She, Jordan, just came up massive for us in the Olympics. Jordan, let me read off some of her just incredible stats. She's from Cleveland, Ohio. She is the most decorated women's foil in U.S. history. Foil is a part of fencing, for those of you who don't know. She is now a 2-time gold medalist, 2020, and then she won the gold medal yesterday, I believe, right, Jordan?
Yes, she won the gold medal, and it was the 2 Americans. Both representations were in a gold medal, so we gold and silvered from that match. But yeah, she did take the gold yesterday.
And then obviously she is a right-handed foil. First American foil fencer to win the gold medal in the Olympics. She is the first American, male or female, to win a gold medal in the Olympics. Incredible stuff. She is a 4-time NCAA champion, a 4-time Olympian, and she is a 13-time Pan American World Champion.
Wow.
Her resume, Jordan, is absurd, dude.
Yes.
Absurd. She's by far one of the best athletes that you've probably never heard of. By far.
It's
by incredible. Far. Reading about her and doing the research and seeing her after she won the gold, seeing her emotion after she won the gold was incredible. I was so happy for her. I mean, just she's literally the best athlete in U.S. history at her sport, male or female. That's wild. Incredible stuff from her. What did you think, Jordan? I mean, we don't watch fencing, so what were your thoughts on it?
I did get to watch the match because of the announcement.
Right, so I did too, but I'm just saying in general, we don't watch fencing.
Just in general. No, I don't. Outside the Olympics or world events like this, I do not watch fencing, but the match I saw, incredibly quick, incredibly, that everything is a knee-jerk reaction, and just really the emotion afterwards. Her parents were an audience. She's only age 30. This list of accomplishments, Douglas, they're talking about she may be in the next games in LA. That'd be sweet. And what the cherry on top of this is the opponent, her other American opponent that won silver. They have a dual competition where there will be teammates coming up in the next day or so to try to steal gold for the U.S. again. So there is a big possibility that she comes out with another gold medal. So it's just really astonishing to see, like you said, best athlete in her sport, both male or female, and homegrown right here in Ohio. So Ohio versus the world. Ohio versus the world right now is really amazing.
Did I read that right?
She did go to UK. They tried to claim her because the announcer had me actually fuming at my head. They were like, from Lexington, Kentucky. Negative. She's an Ohioan. Quit trying to steal it away from us. All the glory. But she did attend school at UK.
Yeah. Okay. No, she's at medical. She is a med student right now at UK. She went to Notre Dame and she was she also went to Duke. She's been to incredible schools. She's an incredible athlete, literally the full package as an athlete. Huge shout out to Lee Kiefer. We'll obviously be watching her as they go for the team gold in foil fencing. Jordan, next one we've got our Olympic swimmer. Let me get him pulled up. Carson Foster, Jordan.
Yes.
From Cincinnati, Ohio. I believe he's only 22.
Yes.
It's insane how talented these people are. He won the bronze medal in the 400 individual medley last night.
Douglas, it was by 1/18 of a second divided silver and bronze. So he just the Japanese swimmer that took the silver. I mean, they had to go and watch the replay. It was fingertip awesome. Length that separated bronze and silver. Obviously, the gold went to the absolute guy who just set the world record for it.
Yeah, I was gonna say that guy was booking it.
that guy was a whole human length and some change ahead. But everything that happened after it, really one of the most entertaining races I've seen, post the Phelps era. So it was really, really nice to see this guy. He's been in a couple of qualifiers in his teens, just outside looking in. So for him to finally make the qualifications, get into the Olympics, and win bronze on his first time out, like I said, by just milliseconds, just fingertip. Thank you for the shout out. Fingertip length between silver and bronze. Nothing to be ashamed of. This guy is definitely going to be back in the LA games.
Yeah.
He's got I believe he's got a relay coming up for the the whole team.
He's also got the 200 medley, 200 meter individual medley. And then just to finish it out, he was a 3-time gold medalist at the 2019 Junior World Championships.
Yes.
2-time silver medalist at the 2017 Junior World Championships. That was when he was just a kid. Like, he's out there competing. And then he is currently attending the University of Texas. So another swimmer to keep our eyes on who could potentially grab another medal for the U.S. So definitely wanted to keep Carson Foster in your thoughts because he's still competing. So is Lee Kiefer. And it's been great watching both of them compete. Go ahead, Jordan.
In Foster's post interview, he gave so much credit to Cincinnati. He said Cincinnati is such a part of me. I do it for the fans and just where he was from. So it was really nice to highlight Ohio by name, just straight out. Those are some of the first words out of his mouth right when he won the medal. So really happy to see. Hopefully we get him. Maybe the Bengals can call him for for a game, or do something kind of cool at halftime, or be ruler of the jungle. Post Olympics, that'd be kind of really cool to see, since he shouted out the Bengals by name. So just something to keep your eye on. I don't think it's not the last we'll see him in the games. Most certainly not the last we'll see him in the Cincinnati area.
For sure. Great so far. It's been really fun doing these, Jordan. We'll have 2 more athletes for everybody on Thursday. We're going to keep this rolling through the Olympics. We're going to keep supporting these Ohio athletes with connections back to the state. It's been really fun. So shout out to Lee Kiefer and Carson Foster. Hopefully the U.S. can throw a couple more gold medals on the pile. But right now, to be leading the Olympics, we do consider ourselves, the U.S., to be the best athletically, but it's always nice to see that stamp put on it, every 4 years. So it's been really, really, really fun watching O-H-I-O. The Bearded Browns, those guys are just phenomenal people. Jordan, let's get ready to transition, though. We've got a little football to talk about, buddy. Unfortunately, we're going to be talking about your Bengals.
Let me transition.
Your Bengals. You know what? Ted Carreras has a badass red hat, red and white in that, and I'm gonna probably get it and treat it like it's a Reds hat. So I don't want anybody to tell me that it's a Bengals hat, because it's gonna be a Reds hat. It's a really nice hat, and I don't want people to think that I'm selling the other side. No. But Jordan, so let's run us through the Bengals before we get into the schedule. We've got 2 holdouts, correct? We've got Chase not practicing. We've got Hendrickson not practicing. And then we've got the Sam Hubbard injury. Where do you want to start? Because that's 3 really big pieces for the team.
Let's start at the top. The most talked about is going to be the Jamar Chase, now sitting out 4 practices in a row. Not looking great.
Maxim, this is the only time you suck. All right, keep going. We're listening. Keep going.
We love it. I love the hate. I'm also a heel on the side, so give me the booze. It just encourages me to go harder. But definitely, that's something to watch, Douglas, because Joe Burrow coming off injury, that timing is not going to be there for live games, and we have Kansas City on week 2. So I mean, we can't. Yeah, we got the Patriots week 1. I'm not that. The Patriots are going to come out and give us some issues. They still always have a great defense, New England. But overall, I think we're going to start the season 1-0. But wait on that.
Wait on that. Players.
But there's that timing. That timing is going to kill us. We got other guys getting. Yoshi look good, but they got to do something. Do we give them a pay raise? Do we kind of maybe look at how Cleveland handled the Amari Cooper deal, and maybe we'll fork in some money up front for this season and restructure his contract. I don't know. Everybody knows how I feel about Mike Brown and Katie Blackburn at the moment from our last episode. If you don't, go revisit it. I'm not going to rehash it. But honestly, it just goes to show you, Douglas, this front office isn't getting it done. And I don't know what they're waiting on. Hopefully he puts business aside, because we're preseason starts this Thursday for the NFL. We're right here, Douglas, and something has to break here, either the mentality or the front office. And I'm hoping it's the mentality, because if T. Higgins can suck it up, and I know there's more money going to T. Higgins right now than Chase, but something's got to come together. I don't know what that is. I don't know. Maybe it's a restructure of our quarterback contract, but probably not. But that would be, if they want this LSU connection to go on for much further, years down the road, maybe that's where they pick the pocket. I
think it's more about being cheap. They're a bunch of cheap asses, Jordan. They have the money to pay Jamar Chase. It's got to get done. He's earned it. We talked about this last week. He's earned it. Let's talk about Trey Hendrickson and Sam Hubbard, because we know Jamar Chase needs to be paid. We know he deserves to be paid. We know he's one of the best receivers in the league. Get it done. We talked about it last week. What are your thoughts on Sam Hubbard based on the update that Zach Taylor gave us? It seems more like it's day-to-day than anything serious. What are your thoughts there?
Well, MRIs, according to sources per ESPN, per NFL Network that I've read, the MRI came up negative for any tissue damage. There's no tears. There's no structural damage. So maybe it's just a tweak. Day to day, this happens in camp. Especially to a guy that's been, battling battled through an injury all last season. Had some tweaks in the offseason surgical wise. So I'm not as concerned about it as most fans because to me, this is probably the healing factor. You go out there, you do a lot of live action stuff. Douglas, you've been an athlete. I've been an athlete. When you come off that first injury, everything's going to be sore. So the fact that maybe the cart picked him up, good on the medical staff. I'd rather throw you back in the cart and nothing be wrong with you versus having you take those first couple steps because, we saw it in the Super Bowl a couple of years ago. Guy comes off the sideline and just tears his ACL for no other reason. You saw it happen to Aaron Rodgers. Yep. So in this day and age, when we're spending millions of dollars on athletes, kudos to the medical staff for once in Cincinnati doing the right thing. I'm happy with it. I think it's going to be okay. I think it's going to be a week 1 starter. I know I kind of put that poll out to see, if we should make any outside signings just in case things came back a little more, on the bad news side. A name like Carl Lawson is still out there. I like to see us kick the tires on it, but it's probably not going to be a thing at this point with the good news coming from Hubbard's camp. So, but I'll transition into the Trey Hendrickson holding out. Douglas, I haven't heard a lot of news on why he's holding out because prior to that, I know he asked for more money in the offseason, but there was kind of a tune change where he said, okay, I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to compete for a Super Bowl, make a run with Joe Burrow and company. So I don't know why he's out. There might be a hidden medical reason, or
it sounded like
just because he's
based on what Zach Taylor said. It sounded like it was a medical reason. I said it wrong when we got into it. It's I meant to say Sam Hubbard and him together medically, and I grouped him and Chase in, so that's my bad. But yeah, it sounds like it's a medical reason. So we'll wait and see on that. It looks like it's day to day also. But Jordan, let's get into what we're talking about big time here today, because we could go through this forever.
No, I just want to put a bow on it. Trey Hendrickson's one of the best in the game. That talent's not gonna leave him. So him resting this early, I'm okay with it.
Yeah, no, I'm not. I'm definitely not saying anything's an issue. And he showed up to camp. He wants to be there and he's going to play. Okay, Jordan, week 1, New England Patriots. We both have you guys winning that game, Jordan. We got you guys 1-0. Let me get my piece of paper here so I can write these down so we have our predictions. So yeah, 1-0 for you guys. Week 2, Jordan. This is where it gets interesting. What are your thoughts here, week 2?
Douglas, I think we squeak a win. I think give me 31-28 Cincinnati squeaks a win. Money Mac does his thing, and history kind of repeats itself.
Okay, so you're going to beat the Chiefs, right?
Correct.
Okay, I'm going to go Chiefs to beat you guys. And what I'm going to preface it saying is I think you lose week 2, but it helps you next time potentially in the playoffs. Quick shout out to Coach Fresh. You lose to KC.
No. Come on, Coach. Come on.
So, I think you guys lose week 2 and you guys go 1-1, but it helps you later in the year. I know you guys play Kansas City extremely well, but I think they catch you guys early. I don't know, for whatever reason, Joe Burrow is not a fast starter. Then we've got the week 3 against Washington Commanders. We've got you guys down for a win there, 2-1. Jordan, I know you've got yourself a win there. Then we've got Carolina Panthers. I've got you at 3-1. You've probably got yourselves at 4-0, correct?
Correct on that.
Okay, so I got you guys 3-1. I mean, week 5, Baltimore at home. Jordan, what's the prediction?
Ooh, that's a tough one. At home, I think we beat them. I do. I think Joe Burrow's healthy. I think the offensive line, with or without Trent Brown in that situation, I think we get it done because I believe in this defense right now. I believe this defense can get to Lamar, make him uncomfortable, and cause that late turnover for a win. But I don't see the fireworks. I think this is going to be a 17-14 win against Baltimore.
Coach Fresh, you lose to Baltimore ×2. Ouch.
×2.
Ouch.
Coach Fresh.
Okay, Jordan, I got you guys beating Baltimore in week 5 at home also. Then you go to at the New York Giants. Could be an interesting game, but I'm guessing you have yourself 6-0 at this point. You beat the Giants.
I'm not even thinking about the Giants, Douglas. Move on. Move on.
Okay, you beat the Giants. Then you go to Cleveland. And let me tell you something. You guys are probably in for a rude awakening in Cleveland. I got to be honest with you. For whatever reason, we have your number. I expect us to beat you guys down. What's it say?
It says L.
L. It says L. Okay, so that's where you have the first loss of the season. You're 6-1 at that point.
Correct. I don't foresee us beating Cleveland in Cleveland. I think, Douglas, it's going to be closer than you think. I think Cincinnati actually comes out and puts a little fire, makes it a little interesting, but I don't see us getting over Cleveland's defense.
Okay.
I think the offensive line, the inconsistencies at guard are going to rear their head.
Miles Garrett's going to eat. He always eats against Joe.
He always eats. But I'm giving credit where credit is due, 110%. Yeah. The Cleveland's got our number. Give us times 2.
Yes, let's go. All right, Jordan, let's keep it moving. We could get stuck in the weeds all day. Then you've got the Eagles week 8, Jordan. Eagles week 8. What do you think? Eagles week 8.
The Eagles. This is a tough one, Douglas, because I don't know what the Eagles. I don't even know if the Eagles are going to have their starting quarterback by week 8.
Why is that?
Just from the inconsistent. Just because the inconsistent play of last year in their locker room imploding. So, if the Eagles come in with a subpar 500 record or below,
wow,
I see us winning. I see us taking the win. We have your number.
Fresh is killing it. Coach Fresh is killing it.
Coach Fresh, I see what side of the fence you're on in Ohio. I apologize for your 30 years of misery. Go ahead and take a bow while you can.
Okay, so do you guys beat the Eagles, Jordan? Do you guys beat the Eagles?
I think we rebound. I think Cleveland wakes us up, and this team offensively goes in and beats the Eagles.
Okay, I have you guys beating the Eagles also. Right now, you have the Bengals 7-1. I have them 6-2 through this point in the year. Next is week 9 against Las Vegas. Las Vegas, I think, is going to be a little bit better under Antonio Pierce, but they still are missing a lot of pieces as a full unit. I think you guys are probably too good for Las Vegas. I have you guys 7-2, Jordan. What are your thoughts on the Las Vegas game?
I think we get past Las Vegas, but like you kind of touched on, I think this game's going to be close because Las Vegas is better. Their offensive line is going to be better. They're going to have consistency from the linebacker position. They drafted well. They signed good agents. And a rejuvenized locker room with a healthy Max Crosby. That game's going to come down to a couple of moments. But I think Cincinnati gets it done for the win against Las Vegas, and we move on to Baltimore, where Douglas, I got us split in this. I got us losing to Baltimore in this one.
Yeah, Baltimore's going to be tough. I have you guys losing also. You have it 8-2 right now. I have it 7-3. I don't think there's a lot of shame in losing to Baltimore at Baltimore.
No.
But the next following week, you've got the Sunday game. You got 10 days off at the Chargers. New coach. Harbaugh, I hope you guys kick the shit out of them. What are your thoughts there, Jordan? At the Chargers. The Chargers should be better. They should be better.
I think the Chargers are better, but losing their big playmaker, kind of the departure of the receiver room for me, and Cincinnati's upgraded secondary. If the Cincinnati Bengals are healthy, and this is all a big, what if game, I think we beat the Chargers.
Okay. Week 12, you guys have the bye. And then we have Pittsburgh at home. What do you say here against Pittsburgh?
I say fuck Pittsburgh. We beat Pittsburgh. I hate Pittsburgh. Moving on.
Okay, I say you guys beat Pittsburgh at home. Also, I have you guys 9-3. You have them 10-2. Jordan. Then we have at Dallas. That's going to be a tough one, more than likely.
Doug, I'm going to go with from an analyst standpoint here. We do not have a winning record under any coaching staff in the last 15 years against Dallas. I think they continue that streak. I think Dallas beats us in kind of an upset game. And,
on a Monday night, too.
I think I'm worried about it. Dallas isn't terrible. Dallas isn't great, but Dallas isn't terrible. But just based on, how long I've been watching, Dallas versus Cincinnati the last couple of seasons, I'm going to give Dallas this win. I'm regretfully going to give Dallas this win.
I also have Dallas beating you at Dallas. I think you guys are really, really good. I do think that's a tough game. I have Dallas beating you guys also. So right now, if we look at it, you have them 10-3. I have them 9-4. Moving on, then you guys have at Tennessee. That's a win in my opinion. I think you guys beat Tennessee. They just I don't think they have the weapons. Losing Henry, I think it's going to all be different. I think it's going to take a year with a new coach. And then you guys have Cleveland week 16. Yeah, Jordan, I got us beating you guys again. I know
let me ask you, no, Joe Flacco's on Indy. For a minute, I thought Joe Flacco was backing up in Tennessee, but he's in Indianapolis. I was going to ask you a Flacco question, but moving on.
Okay, so you got the Browns week 16. I have us beating you week 16 on the Thursday night game. I don't know what it is. I think we have Joe Burrow's number for whatever reason. We're not going to be resting anybody this time. I think we beat you guys again. I think we beat you twice this year. As good as you guys are, I think we can beat you twice. I
don't think Watson makes it to that point of the season. I think we upset you.
Oh, come on. I don't think it's an upset for you guys to beat us.
I think it's Douglas. It's an upset. So I'm telling you, as a hardcore Cincinnati fan right now, the era that I have been in, when we drafted Joe Burrow, Cleveland kicks our ass about every freaking time. So yeah, I think we upset Cleveland.
Okay, to round out the year, Jordan, we've got Denver Broncos. They're in a weird spot. I got you guys beating Denver, and I'm sure you have you guys beating Denver. Right? Correct? No hiccups there.
No hiccups there.
Week 18 at Pittsburgh. At Pittsburgh's a little bit different, Jordan. What's your thoughts there?
I think we split it with Pittsburgh. I think we lose week 18. There could be some rest for the players, but I'm going to go ahead and chalk it up as an L.
Okay, I have you guys beating Pittsburgh. So I got you guys, Jordan, I got you guys finishing 12-5. You've got the Bengals finishing 13-4. I don't think any of that's crazy at all. I think you guys are set up for a good season. This is going to be a really fun football season. What any thoughts on that overall record? 13-4, Jordan.
I think we own Kansas City. I think it's going to continue to happen.
So that was the big difference. That was
the big difference.
You had the Kansas City loss. I picked us to beat you guys twice. I mean, it's close. It's definitely close.
Because I lose more sleep over Cleveland right now than I do Kansas City.
Yeah, I get that. Okay, let me get we're going to transition now to the to the Browns. Speaking of Deshaun Watson, there he is. Man, I got all my eggs in that basket, man. I hope he has to have a great year. And I know a lot of people don't believe in him, and I totally get that. Man, we need him to have a big season, a big damn season. Okay, Jordan, first three games, those are our preseason games. We got week 1 at home. We've got the Dallas Cowboys, Jordan. What are your thoughts on that game for Cleveland?
I think you guys open up with a big win, Douglas, a big statement win. Much needed for the organization, much needed for Deshaun Watson. I just think you guys get it done.
Okay. I also think we get it done, and I have us going 1-0. If it was at Dallas, Jordan, I would probably lean the other way, but I think it's extremely close. If you go 13-4, I will buy you a beer. Absolutely no way. Coach Fresh, if they don't go 13-4, can I have a beer just for fun? I need one too. No, quick shout out to everybody. We got 150 live viewers right now. Thank you. We're going to keep hammering this scheduled home. Next week, Jordan, we've got at Jacksonville. What are your thoughts there?
Jacksonville, to me, that's got to be a win for you guys. I think Jacksonville regresses. They lose their number one. They lose what should have been their number one receiver, the number 2 receiver, Calvin Ridley departs. That team kind of regresses. I don't think the quarterback plays have been consistent. So I think you guys win there.
Okay.
I think it's going to be a close game, but you win.
I think it's going to be close too, especially at Jacksonville. But I like in the warm weather, I do like that defense flying around. Next, we've got New York Giants at home. I think we beat New York. Jordan, what are your thoughts? I just don't think Daniel Jones is good enough to beat either of our teams. If they had a better quarterback, I think they could beat us because they still have good pieces. But Daniel Jones is never going to beat our defenses, and I just don't see it happening.
I think this is the year that the Giants reconsider their quarterback controversy that they got going on. So I agree with you. I don't think they have enough firepower on the outside. let alone losing their best running back to a division rival. So I give you a big win in the Giants.
Okay, next game we have at Las Vegas. That could be tough traveling across country. Any hiccups here, Jordan, against Las Vegas?
I don't see you guys picking up. I think the game's going to be tough. Like, we know what Las Vegas is going to bring that name brand. Pierce and company are going to really change that culture. A little name, and I forgot to mention him when we were going through it with the Cincinnati. Marvin Lewis knows the AFC North too, and that's something true. that's something you gotta consider just a little bit. He knows how to win an AFC North, so that's where I think the game's going to be a little bit tougher than most people think. So I think you guys get it done, but I think it's going to be a gritty game. I think you guys are going to make some plays in the second half to bust it open. But really look for kind of a back and forth boxing match early on there.
Okay, then we got at Washington. At Washington, Jaden Daniels, we're going to see how good he is. I have us beating Washington. I don't think they're good enough overall to beat us, especially with our defense. I think we're going to give Jaden Daniels trouble. What are your thoughts there?
I think you guys get the win. Scary Terry is going to get his. He's going to make a couple of plays on you guys, but other than that, I think you guys stomp them.
Next, then we go at the Eagles. That's my first loss for us this year. We lose in Philadelphia. What are your thoughts, Jordan?
Doug, I just don't see it. I'm not a big believer in Philadelphia. Like I said, their implosion last year, and everybody pointing fingers, and this is the first year, Kelsey retirement. They have a lot to prove in my book, so I got you guys winning this game.
Okay, and then we have the Bengals at home. Like I said again, when we spoke, I have us beating you guys, so that takes us to 6-1 in my opinion. You picked us to win here, so you have a 7-0 through the first 7 weeks.
I absolutely do.
That's pretty crazy. Then we have Baltimore at home. Baltimore is always scary for whatever reason. We really struggle with Lamar. I'm going to say we lose that one.
I can agree with that. I think this is your wake up game. I think it's going to be that old AFC North, rivalry. I think it's going to probably a 16-10, 13-10.
Yeah.
A lot of field goals.
I hope it's low scoring. I hate watching Lamar run all over us. I can't stand it.
I don't think he's going to run all over you. I think they're just going to squeak it out because you guys are going to come in with a certain swagger, and this is going to be the game to kind of hit the reset button. So I think you guys take a loss here, but it's not all negative.
Okay, so we're 6-2 to this point. You got a 7-1, Jordan, and then we've got Los Angeles coming to First Energy Stadium that following Sunday. I got us beating the Chargers. I think they're a year away from really being good. I think we beat the Chargers again. You mentioned them, lack of weapons. I think we handle them. Herbert worries me because I feel like people forget Justin Herbert is stupid good at the position. He's carried the Chargers for a while. They need some weapons. What are your thoughts, Jordan?
I think you guys handle them this year. Like you said, I think they're about a year or two away. I wouldn't even say they're necessarily a year, but a year or two away from being really successful and turning it around without cutting the quarterback position. Like you said, there's no reason to start there, but he just doesn't have the weapons yet. A lot of departures, a lot of new faces. I don't foresee him being that successful this year, so I think you guys kind of go in and stomp him and give Hardball the middle finger that he deserves from Ohio.
Hell yeah. Okay, then we got the bye week, Jordan. Then we go to at New Orleans. I don't see why we lose to New Orleans in the state in a dome. I think that's going to be good for us. I have us beating New Orleans. I think we're 8-2 rolling in after the game against New Orleans. What are your thoughts?
New Orleans is just too inconsistent for me. So I have you guys beating New Orleans. I think they'll give you trouble. They always have a good defensive line year in, year out, even with the departure of their head coach. So, give me a tough game in New Orleans. I think you guys squeak it out, 24-14, 24-21. It'll be exciting, but Cleveland's going to handle business.
Okay, then we have Pittsburgh on a short week. I hate that. I really hate that. It all depends on how Pittsburgh's QB play is, Jordan. I think we beat Pittsburgh on a short week. What are your thoughts?
Well, let me ask you, Doug, because Pittsburgh's going to have a quarterback controversy, regardless of what anybody feels. Do you think you're going to go against Justin Fields? Or do you think it'll be the
quick
Russell?
shout out, Coconut Dreams 123. Go Browns! Hell yeah, go Browns! Thank you, sir, for tuning in, and we really appreciate it.
Cleveland. When do we become a Cleveland channel? But
we are. We've always been. What were you saying? The quarterback controversy?
Yeah, I think there's going to be. I think you guys are going to win that game just by default because I think there's going to be a huge quarterback controversy. But I just kind of wanted to hear your thoughts on whether the quarterback's going to be Justin Fields or Russell Wilson.
I think Russell Wilson is. Go Bucks! Finger red number one. Shout out to Coconut Dreams. Thank you for jumping on the channel and supporting us. We really appreciate it. I think Fields. I don't think Fields is that good, really. As an Ohio State fan, it's hard to say, but I don't think Justin Fields is that good. If he could find a way to get in their scheme and run more, then sure. But I think Russell Wilson's going to be the guy. Tyler McGurk, I'm glad the Niners don't have to play you both this year. Yeah, that probably sucked last year, having to deal with both Ohio teams and losing to them. That really felt good for us. I know you made it to the playoffs and went further than we did, but it did feel nice beating the 49ers. Next game, Gordon, at Denver. Denver kicked our butts last year. And I feel like has to be a driving force for this year, Jordan. We cannot let Denver beat us again. I've got us beating Denver in Denver. What are your thoughts?
I got you guys beating Denver in Denver. I don't think that game was kind of an anomaly for me. You guys were also, you got to look at the injuries and banged up and where Denver was as an organization, what Russell Wilson had to do if he wanted to continue to play in the NFL at all. So I don't see that happening this year. Lightning doesn't strike twice. You guys move on with the win.
Then we've got at Pittsburgh. I think we lose this one. I think we split with Pittsburgh this year. I don't see us beating them twice. What are your thoughts?
I agree. I think Justin Fields will be the starter by then. Just deliver some packages you guys haven't seen throughout the year, and they squeak by with just kind of a their end of the year. Pittsburgh never goes a little bit below 500 miraculous play, but not all bad news. It is the AFC North at the end of the day, so I think you guys take the L there and you rebound.
Then we have Kansas City the following Sunday. I have us losing that game. It is at First Energy Stadium. It should be cold. We should have a chance in this one, but I see Kansas City at this point in the year. I feel like they're going to be rolling and they're going to be rounding into their form. I have Kansas City beating us to put us at 10-4. What are your thoughts?
Douglas, the Kansas City offensive line, they didn't make a lot of moves. This is going to be kind of, similar to the year before. And I think the defensive player of the year eats. I think Myles Garrett makes that statement. I think your top three, if not top one secondary in the NFL, if they're healthy, go against Kansas City and absolutely puts the league on notice that the AFC North are the top dogs in the league 2 years in a row. Kansas City takes us L. Deshaun Watson shines. Amari Cooper shines. And everybody, David Njoku and company, they just get it done, Douglas. I don't see Kansas City being a threat to many AFC North teams this year. And I'll be damned if one of the better defenses in the league doesn't make that statement late in the year.
Hell yeah. I love the energy there. Shout out. So yeah, that puts us at Jordan. You've got the Browns through 14 games. You've got them 12-2. I've got them 11-4. We've got at Cincinnati Bengals. I have us beating you guys. I feel like you have us losing this one, right?
This is the one I thought we would split because, like you said, no nonsense. Everybody's playing their starters, but I see Joe Burrow, heating up at the end of the year and getting over that hump, carrying Cincinnati to the playoffs.
Is this guy a Browns fan?
Oh,
hell yeah. Okay. So we split that. You have us splitting that one with the Bengals. Yes. I understand that. It's not going to go that way in real life, but whatever. then we have the Miami Dolphins at First Energy Stadium in the dead of winter. We can't lose this game. We cannot lose to a warm weather team in this at this period of time. 12. I have us 12-4. Jordan, do you have us beating Miami there?
I think OBJ makes a couple of plays, kind of reminiscent, but you guys get the win. I don't see.
We're not letting OBJ do that. We're not letting him do it.
I think he makes a play or two, Douglas. I think he makes a play or two, but I think you guys get the win.
So you have us tonight. You have us 13-3 going into the last week. I have us 12-4 going into the last week. Coach Fresh has us 12-5. Then we have Baltimore at Baltimore. I'm gonna give us an L there to end 12-5. Jordan, what are your thoughts?
I think you guys rest starters, Douglas. I think you pull everybody. I think you're in the playoff hunt.
Starters?
I think you rest starters there. I think Deshaun Watson, make sure if he does make it to that point, you got to rest him. You can't risk it. It's a divisional game. I think you guys take the L, but you move on into the postseason.
Okay, so you've got us finishing 13-4. That means the Bengals and the Browns would finish 13-4 this year. That would be incredible. I have us finishing 12-5. I also have you guys finishing 12-5. We're very, very close this year. I hope we're the 1-2 in the AFC North. That'd be insane. That'd be so much fun. These are going to be some wars on this show when we play each other. Yeah. Watson's going to need a couple extra massages on week 17. You would think a guy like Tyler McGurk, who's a nice human being, wouldn't say such hurtful things, but here we are. Jordan, it's going to be a hell of an NFL season. We are right around the corner. This Thursday, we'll be live talking during the Hall of Fame game. We'll obviously touch on that then. I'm ready for football, man. I'm really ready. After Thursday, there is no football break until late next year. So it's our time of the year. We are getting hyped up. I cannot wait to be with you guys on Mondays and Thursdays talking football. It's going to be a hell of a time. I hope you guys are all here living it up with us. But let's transition, Jordan. We've got to talk. Let's talk a little bit of news and notes, Jordan. Let me get that pulled up. Oh, what happened? There it is. Sometimes I get my my background's a little jacked up. There we go.
It's not even that.
Let's go. There it is.
There it is. News and notes, Douglas. We don't have too many. We did kind of touched on the Olympics and what we thought. We touched on the Bengals controversy. We touched on some Browns camp.
Yep.
What we thought about the Reds move. So we kind of summed it up by accident, which is fine. We're over an hour right now. But do you have any save rounds for news and notes before I put you on the spot?
Yeah, I'm just gonna touch on it real quick. Cincinnati finishes up Chicago 7-1. Great win today. Really needed that. Yes. Carson Spires comes out, throws 5 innings of one-hit baseball. Great outing from him. Love to see that. And then the Guardians put away their game. They won 8-4 over Detroit. The Guardians just keep winning. BB's 9-4 now. He gave up 2 runs today. Jose Ramirez hit another home run. So those guys just keep playing great baseball. So shout out to them. News and notes wise, otherwise, Jordan, we have soccer coming up soon for FC Cincinnati. They'll be back. We'll touch on that Thursday, I believe. Yes. Other than that, what other news and notes do you have, buddy? Before we wrap the show tonight,
I don't have any say. Sports with a slur. There you go. Sports with a slur usually follows us when we end our programming. They'll be talking about some USA basketball. I'm assuming probably both men's and women's. But Tyler McGurk is a huge into if you're kind of in WNBA or any kind of women's following there. He does a great job putting that program together for that, and he's a huge LeBron hater. So moving on.
No, yeah, give Tyler McGurk go check out his YouTube channel, Sports with a Slur. He does a great job covering sports. He's a West Coast guy, and he's done a great job supporting us. Big time friend of the show. So please go check out Tyler McGurk's show. He loves basketball, loves talking hoops. He's going to be talking LeBron and KD. That'll be a fun show following us. So please go check him out. What else you got, Jordan? News and notes wise before we hit that button.
News and notes. I got nothing else, but I'm going to put you on the spot. Douglas is one of the absolute driving forces behind this show when it comes to almost all of our social medias, putting the graphics together. Really, the man behind the scenes. Getting us on air. Go ahead and big announcement for the show. Take it away, Douglas.
Okay, guys, this is huge for us. This is absolutely massive. On August 5th, Ohio Sports Talk will be interviewing former Reds pitcher Bronson Arroyo. It is a massive, massive get for us. We are beyond excited to be talking to Bronson Arroyo. It's going to be fun. I mean, Jordan, you did a great job going out and getting us this one, and we're gonna bring it home. So please, 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 on August 5th, join the show. We're gonna be live at 9:00. We'll have Bronson Arroyo here talking all things baseball. We'll be talking about his music career. There's gonna be a lot of conversation going on. It's gonna be a big time show. So please, if you have nothing going on, Monday, August 5th, 9:00, get in here and support the show. Bronson Arroyo, former Reds pitcher, former Red Sox pitcher. That's where I first got introduced to him back when he was a relief pitcher for Boston in their World Series run. So exciting news. A guy who's supported the Reds for a long time, been a Reds pitcher. It's a huge get, Jordan. It's super, super exciting.
Yeah.
So I beyond excited to have Bronson Arroyo on this program, and we will be hyping that up over the next couple shows because it's huge. It's so cool to get a guy like Bronson Arroyo on the show.
No, I'm happy. I pulled some strings behind the scenes, went a little boots on the ground, but just really, really happy to deliver this for you. Like I said, we even each other out. This show's always striving to be better and bring you better content. Bring on some guests. This is one of a few projects I got in the pipeline, but just really happy to see the finish here and can't wait to sit down, talk to them, get you fans involved. Maybe answers a few questions. Maybe we'll preload some questions. You guys throw us some questions over the weekend. We'll put it together. But, big get for us, big show, a lot of content. Just really super excited. Thank you for all the viewers tonight. Thank you to everybody that subscribes. Hit that retweet button after we, leave the air tonight. Spread us out. We're something small right now, but we're building something very big here in Ohio. So really happy to see us take the next few steps.
Jordan, well said, buddy. Again, Bronson Arroyo, Monday night, August 5th, 9:00. Huge get for us. We are beyond excited. And if you would like to support the show, check out ohio-sports-talk.square.site and go pick up a koozie from us, $5.99 on the website. We would really appreciate it. We've already got a couple orders in, so thank you to everybody who's ordered one so far. Jordan, I got a cheers for you, man. Massive cheers.
Yes.
Congratulations, buddy. Bronson Arroyo. That's going to be huge. Shout out to everybody who watched the show tonight. 170 live viewers. I know sometimes we ramble, sometimes we get off the tracks, but thank you for tuning into this show and supporting this show. It means the world to us. And we will see you guys Thursday night live at 9:00. Cheers, buddy.